Welcome back to another episode of Bischel Ball, brought to you by the Head First Podcast. I am JP Sponseller, joined by Cole Harding. No Kling tonight. He's had a dinner, had plans, had to miss this one. So we'll catch him next week. Yeah, it happens. Before we get into things here, this episode is brought to you by Mio's Pizza. Looking for the ultimate pregame spot before first pitch? Head over to Mio's Pizzeria on Short Vine and get your game day started right. Before every home game, they're serving up $2 Coors Lights and $4 Traveler whiskeys. Whether you're fueling up before heading to the park or sticking around to catch every inning, Mio's will be streaming every game live on ESPN Plus, so you won't miss a single pitch. Great pizza, unbeatable drink specials, and college baseball all season long. Mio's on Short Vine is your official home for game day. How about that?
If that doesn't fire you up, I'm planning on being there this Saturday pregame.
I was going to say, I saw some rumblings in the group chat. It sounds like we already are going to have an early season boys meetup at Mio's before our ball game on Saturday. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Getting the plans together Thursday for Saturday. So, yeah, we'll be ready.
Oh, yeah. I believe that those I'm not sure about. I want to say those drink specials also run for away games, and I do believe they will be showing all road games. And he even mentioned to me that if you're in there and a game is on and they don't have it playing, let them know and they will throw it on for you guys. So Mio's Pizza, students, parents, everyone, head over there and have a couple drinks and watch some Bearcats baseball. Yes, all right, let's get into this thing. I know we were on a high horse last week after the Auburn midweek win. We knew UAB was going to be a tough series, end of a road trip. Had a quality weekend against Florida. Bearcats finished that trip. They go 2-2 against UAB. Yeah, I guess what's your initial? I know we said that we would be happy with 3-1. How are you feeling about the 2-2 finish?
I'll start with great way to salvage the last two games there. Obviously lost the first two and then won the last two games of the series there. I was happy the way they responded. I think game one was tough. Felt like we should have been there and won that one. So the opportunity to go 3-1 was definitely right there in front of us. Didn't make it happen in the end, but I'll take the 2-2. After going down 0-2 and then bouncing back and winning the last two, that speaks a lot about this team. Especially at the end of a long road trip, which we've talked about multiple times. Being able to step back in there, cross the white lines, and then finish out the last 18 innings of the weekend was big for him.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest thing. Obviously, I'm fine with 2-2. Not thrilled, not pissed about it. But the biggest thing for me was back against the wall at the end of a road trip, down 2-0 in the series, and find a way to bounce back and split that series and finish up with 2 wins. I thought that was huge for the team. Another thing, I'm kind of curious to see how UAB the rest of their season plays out. I thought they were a pretty good ball team. I know they will. I wouldn't be surprised if they struggle depth wise on the mound, as a lot of the American Conference does when you just get after or when you get past the first 4 to 6 guys. But I think they can really swing it. You saw them bunt and run the bases really well. A lot of the things that we like to watch our Bearcats do on offense, they were also doing. And then, it's either the UAB lineup. I know we praised this pitching staff all of last week, and then kind of had a tough weekend a little bit. Got banged around. It happens. I thought they competed well. No guy really went out there and just gave a game away or they earned it. They hit the ball. But, tough weekend for the staff. Also kind of a tip of the cap to UAB there.
Yeah, I thought they were a lot more patient than I was expecting to be. They didn't chase outside the zone very much, which I know is always going when teams do chase, it's always going to play an advantage to the pitching staff for the opposing team. I thought they were very similar to the Bearcats, and it looked like they had an approach in what they wanted to do at the plate. They obviously were pretty patient, worked some deep counts, and were able to, like you said, create some small ball opportunities as well as hit the ball out of the park. So, which, to be fair, it did look like the wind was blowing like 1,000 miles per hour in some of those games. But that's for both teams when they step into the box. So can't really complain one way or the other there. I was genuinely impressed with their lineup. I thought they had a very solid approach from 1 to 9. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how they play out in the American as well. They look to be like a team that's going to compete. They're just scrappy kind of, which was made the games fun to watch at least.
For sure. All right, well, let's get into breaking down these games. Let's start with game 1, probably the biggest heartbreaker out of the 2 losses. Lost 12-11. Nate Taylor, again, not his best start, kind of 2 weeks in a row. 4 earned runs in 4 innings. He did give us a chance to win, as he usually always does, kept us in it. He did reach out to me after this game, and he wanted to get out ahead of all of the media sources. He did shave his chin piece after last Friday's start. After we kind of battled back and forth on it in the preseason, I wanted him to just gut it out. And that was his thing last year. So it got to him. He said he was just sitting there alone in his hotel room and ended up shaving it. So he wanted to get out ahead of that. He did tell me that it will be back and better than ever. So
you got to start a new one.
He's starting fresh, fresh slate. He did this last year after a start and kind of started going on a tear there for a little bit. So look for Nate Taylor to start heating up here soon. And
without a doubt.
Back to the old Nate we know.
Yeah. I mean, we all know we haven't seen the best of Nate yet. But yeah, this fresh chin piece, it's going to be automatic here.
Yeah, I'm pumped up for that.
I mean, I love it, especially with how much he's in the zone. He'll get back into it.
For sure. No doubt in that. But yeah, this was kind of a back and forth game. The offense played really well. I mean, putting up 11 runs on a Friday is always a good sign. It just felt like we could not get that shutdown inning to save our lives. Every time we scored, we just kept giving it right back. And I guess what was really disappointing there at the end, we had the Quentin Coates 3-run homer in the 8th to put us up 9-6. I thought this is kind of one of those kill shot moments in a game, and you need to capitalize and be able to shut the door here. But let's pop over and show you guys Quentin Coates' 3-run homer here.
Especially against this bull.
I don't know. That is not the right clip. Okay, so we have the rest of them, but we will not have the game 1 homer here. I don't know.
That's all good. I mean, it was a nuke out to left.
Absolute nuke. Crushed. And then I believe, the UAB added 2 more after that, made it 9-8 going into the 9th. We were able to add another run. Or hold on here. We had an 11-8 lead going into the bottom of the 9th inning. So despite giving up runs in the 8th, we're able to pad the lead a little bit more and still managed to blow that lead in the 9th. Just kind of a heartbreaker. It was one of those games. I know, like, someone was tweeting at me. It just kind of felt like that was going to happen the way the game was going. We just could not get that shutdown inning to save our lives that day.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Especially, I thought the same exact thing when Coates homered. I was like, oh, that's it. Like, we just got the 3-run lead there. We're going to pull away with this one. Let's go get 3 outs, get out of there with a scoreless inning. Because the whole game, it was like we would score, they would score, we would score, they would score, we would score, they would score. Get the big 3-run blast, and it's like, all right, this is our time now. Somebody's got to run out there, throw up a 0. Didn't happen. We still go into the 9th with a lead, and we're able to scratch 2 more runs, so we're back up to a 3-run lead. heading into the ninth, and unfortunately weren't able to close it out. I believe we started that inning with a walk too. So
We did. We had we went to Buskowski and Marsh
yeah,
in the ninth there, which I mean, the reason I'm calling out those two guys is just because that I'm going to hang my hat on those two dudes all year. I mean,
yeah,
if you tell me that we got those two dudes with a 3-run lead in the ninth, you can just mark that up as a win. And even though it didn't happen this Friday, I got confidence in those dudes, and I'll be standing by those guys all year.
yeah. And it's still early. I mean, you're not going to have your best stuff every time out there. But I know without a doubt that if one of those two guys struggles and then the other one comes in, they'll have their back and they'll figure it out. They're going to be just fine. I mean, like I said, you're not going to have your best stuff every single day. It just happened that game wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, we talked about great day offensively. A couple guys to point out. Enzo and Felice had another 3-hit day with an RBI. Derek Pitts, who is absolutely scorching hot. We'll continue to talk about him throughout this episode. He had a 3-hit day with an RBI, and then Quentin Coates with the big 3-run homer there. What could have been the kill shot. And he now is up to 4 on the year. So another dude who's just on an absolute tear.
4 through 9 games isn't half bad.
Yeah, we'll talk about. I know Pitts and Coates were kind of two of the guys we've been talking about all offseason. So let's wait to talk about that right before we preview Austin Peay here. Moving on to game 2 at UAB, lost this one 8-3. I thought Logan Knight kind of held his own there until the third. He ended up giving 5 earned runs and 4 innings pitch. Kind of were able to blow it open there in the third a little bit.
Yeah.
Talk about a total flip offensively. We had 3 runs on 12 hits and left 10 guys on base. So literally just a total 180 to just not being able to get the big hit. We're able to get some runners on, get some stuff going. It just seemed like all day. And that happens, right? We just had nobody to come through with the big RBI or 2-out hit.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, I mean, that's just baseball too. I feel like any day or any game where you're able to come through the day before, like game 1, we had the big hits. We were able to scratch runs, find a way to score, give us the lead. And then, it's baseball. So the next day the gods got to even things out, and things won't go your way. You'll hit a ball hard and it'll be caught, or you get a wrong bounce or an unlucky bounce somewhere. But yeah, I mean, the offense, obviously 10 guys left on base is not what you want, especially when we're a team that's stealing a lot of bases, getting guys in scoring position. Just mathematically, it should be easier to score those runs. But I think the pitching, I mean, obviously the third inning there, they, I think, almost went back to back. Like I said, I thought the ball looked like it was flying pretty well. You can't really hate a dude for giving up solo shots. I mean, he was in the zone, trying to compete in the zone, which I know is what they're preaching. I'm pretty sure every team in the country preaches you got to compete in the zone. So I don't know. Yeah, the offense just wasn't really there game 2. So
saying on the flip side of this, the UAB 8 runs on 9 hits and 1 left on base. Yeah. So I mean, that just tells you the whole story right there. That's what, honestly, after this game, it was like, I don't know what was more frustrating between the Thursday or the Friday loss, because obviously Friday or Thursday, anytime you give up a 3-run lead in the 9th, that sucks. And for this one, I mean, just to see 8-3 on the scoreboard and look at those numbers. I mean, we have 3 runs on 12 hits, 10 left on base, and they have 8 runs on 9 hits, 1 left on base. So, I mean, that's the story in the game right there.
Yeah, they were just making it count when they got runners on base and in scoring position.
Yeah.
And we just didn't.
Fairly quiet day offensively. Derek Pitts, another 3-hit day. Dude's on fire. Let's move into game 3, which was an 8-4 win Adam Brower got the start a lot like last week, just competed really well, gave up 3 runs and 4 innings pitched, stayed in the zone. Really good job just pitching to contact there. Kind of had the opposite of results of Logan Knight, just was able to have a little bit more success.
Yep.
Really good job from Dominic Morrow and Connor Blue. They combined for 5 innings, 1 earned run out of the bullpen, and Morrow went 3 shutout and got the win on that day. So huge for him and those 2 guys. Now let's go to the Quentin Coates grand slam in the 2nd inning that kind of busted this thing open to give us a 5-1 lead.
Ingram again. This one hit well into straightaway center. Hall charging back. He's out of room. It's over the batter's eye and gone. Quentin Coates to the deepest part of the ballpark hits a grand slam. And the Bearcats have a big swing early this afternoon. It's 5-1 Cincinnati.
Ball was absolutely mashed. I don't know if you guys saw Derek Pitts on first base. He looked like he was sprinting, getting ready to score on like a double in the gap. I don't know if he realized that ball was hit about 430 feet or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But talk about a big swing of the bat right there, especially the day before. 10 guys left on base, not able to get that big hit. You got guys in scoring position, bases are loaded, 2 outs, a chance to really capitalize on something there, and you go ahead and get the big hit there. Hit a ball not just out of the park, but like way out of the park, over the batter's eye. Shout out UAB's center fielder giving his pitcher a little courtesy jump there at the wall, but there was no need for that one.
No chance.
No. But no, huge hit. I mean, like I just said, when you leave so many guys on base the next day or the day before, and then you get to the game 3 here and you don't want to – sometimes I feel like if they got Quentin out there, it would start to feel like, oh, still can't get a big hit, Like it's just a reoccurring problem almost. But no, I mean, he just shut up all the haters and hit one to Australia. I don't even know.
But no, especially in game 3, you already dropped the first 2. And then like, if you don't scratch a couple runs there in that bases loaded spot, you just start to feel that like, oh shit, here we go again kind of feeling. But no, and that was a huge moment. Felt like that kind of got a lot of weight off of the offense's shoulders and really the whole team. And I mean, this game really, they ended up kind of tacking a couple runs back and forth, but this was the inning and the play that really kind of busted this thing open and allowed us to hold that lead. Big day from Jack Natilli. Also had a 3-hit day there with his first homer of the season, which we will show to you right there.
Bearcats don't want to risk 3 outs on 3 pitches. He is swinging here and hits this well into left center field. Hall on the run, looks up, it's gone. Jack Natilli goes deep and the Bearcats tack on to their lead. It's 6-3 Cincinnati.
Really good swing, great crack of the bat. Like as you said, the ball was flying, and it seemed like that one kind of evaporated. And good to see our first Jack of the year on the board. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing quite a few of those this season.
Yeah, I felt like he was flirting with it there for a few games. Couple deep flyouts, double off the wall. I mean, it was bound to happen. Glad to see it.
Yeah,
and he gets one over the fence, and another 2-out home run. So adding a run with 2 outs, another big hit there.
Huge. And then another guy who hit his first Bearcat homer, Jackson Reardon, the Covcath grad, the freshman. Good to see him in that lineup, banging the ball around. He had another nice double in that Bowling Green game yesterday. Mm-hmm. So it's been good to see him in the lineup. I think he's going to be a pretty dynamic kid and kind of a homegrown talent that we all love to root for. And pretty excited to watch him for the next couple of years.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like you said, we don't really know too much about him yet. Haven't got to see a ton of game time from him, but the little that we have, I like what I see, and we know anyone from the area is going to be bought into getting some wins back in Clifton.
Moving on to game 4, this was an 8-6 win. This was just your standard Sunday gritty game. This felt like a 1-1 split Sunday game where you're just going back and forth all game. We kind of had a bullpen game. Dylan Schuler got the start. Again, just back and forth all day long. No real like big innings from each team. And if one team had one, the other team bounced back and had one the next half. So not a whole lot of big moments there. We tried to blow this one like Friday. We tried. It got close. It got really scary late. And we were able to hang on to this one, which was very scary. I would have been very upset if we blew this one and walked out of there 1-3. But really good job to hold on and not let that Thursday night loss kind of get to these bullpen guys in the back end. I thought we also did a really good job of running the bases and manufacturing runs in this Sunday game. We did not really hit the cover off the ball, which maybe we anticipated being in game 4 of a series. But I thought we did a really good job of running the bases and manufacturing runs. Natilli had a 3-hit day, and then Luke Sefcik, the veteran, only came away with 1 hit, but 3 RBIs. Really just did a good job of counting them up on Sunday.
Yeah, good for Luke too, man. I know he loves being out there. He plays the game the right way. I believe that was a big 2-out, 2 RBI single.
I think so.
In the right center field. Yeah, I mean, I was just happy to see him come up with in a big moment there, especially later in the game. So yeah, I mean, it's an awesome job of 2-strike hitting and counting up some more runs.
Yeah, and that wraps up the UAB series. After that game, I sent out a tweet, and that's exactly how I felt. It was just like, deep breath, let's go home. Let's get the hell out of there and get back to Cincinnati. The boys got back to Cincinnati and faced Bowling Green in the midweek yesterday, and we got the 11-1 run rule win. I thought the Bearcats did exactly what they should have done yesterday in the home opener. You got a good crowd, some good weather, first game at home, and you just go out there and put belt to ass on a team that you should or have the potential to kind of beat up on in a midweek against some of their lesser pitching.
Yeah, I mean, it's great, obviously, to get back home. Shout out the weather for cooperating. I think that's why we moved the game back a day, because of some weather issues. It was supposed to, I believe, Tuesday was a bit colder than Wednesday. So, no, it's always good. I mean, I know me and you always loved home opener in Clifton.
Best.
Always a midweek. Like, you're going to have a chance to finally go out and compete on your own field, and the boys you could tell they were ready. I mean, they were seeing the ball well, hit the ball all over the place, pitched it well. So it was good to see.
Always great vibes. I think we both, at least the 2 years we were together, we both always played really well in at least one or a few of those home opener games.
Yeah.
I think we both homered against the Redhawks actually in 23. That was a fun one.
That was a fun one. Yeah.
Just something about being back in Clifton for game 1 just does something to you.
Yeah, I mean, it gets you ready. No offense, but didn't pay attention to school that day. It was just dialed in on what was about to happen later that night. Yeah,
not much class going on. But like I said, the Bearcats scored in every inning but the third. Really just consistent, really quality at bats, not trying to do too much and just hit a bunch of homers up there. Ryan Taransky had an inside the park home run, which is always exciting to see. One of the most exciting plays in baseball. We will show to you right here.
And we get so enamored with stuff on paper and everything else, and that one is shot into right field. That one gets under. Here's Tyransky rounding first. He's going to second. That ball's at the warning track. Looking for third. He could go all the way. He rounds third. Oh my goodness. He gets down. He's safe.
Great piece out of him. Great wheels. I guess I knew he could run a little bit, but that was impressive, especially like second to home. Looked like I know for sure I couldn't keep up my speed that long. By the time I didn't hit any triples, but by my second to third, I really started losing steam.
Some tight turns. He had some tight turns in there.
Yeah, great base running. Definitely Coach Winsky working on some turns with him there. But no, great piece by him. Was able to capitalize on the error not the error, but the misplay from the center fielder. Also, we don't always kind of see that guys get to force the issue a little bit with no outs. So kind of respected KP's call there on sending him with no outs. May have looked really dumb if he got canned at the plate, but trusted his guy, liked the call, sent him home, and got the inside the Parker.
I wish we could have got like a better camera angle of like the wave there. We kind of caught the tail end of it, but you could just like, I want to see him watching the ball. And then when he decides, I just wanted to see.
Was it a good wave?
You could catch, if you go back and watch it and catch the tail end of his wave, but I wish we got the whole view of it.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We need one of those. We need like a coach cam for like Winsky and KP. We need to start giving
right there in
everyone
the
some
camera
love.
well, we just put one on the third base coach.
Get Sheriff like mic'd up for some mound visits.
Yeah.
Start getting some coach cams going.
Yeah, need it.
Yeah. But yeah, Quentin Coates also had a big 3-run home run. Derek Pitts was 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs. We just keep mentioning that guy's name. He's just
we keep mentioning
guy rakes.
Both of them.
Both of those guys.
Guess who homered? Guess who had multiple hits?
Yeah, which we will talk about these guys very shortly. Connor Blue had a great start. Great job following up from Brennan Eager, Brendan Oliver, and Adam Buskowski to get only allowing 1 run. I don't care who you play. If you allow 1 run in the midweek, that's a great job. Great job. Just taking advantage of when your team has a lead, pounding the zone. No funny business. Yeah, you'll give up a couple hits here and there, but just attacked all day. And I thought those dudes did a fantastic job yesterday.
Yep, it was nice. It was almost like a little reset for the staff. Go back out there, just get back to your stuff, attacking the zone, and it showed that or it worked out for him. Only gave up a run, so it was good to see. And like we mentioned, the offense just kind of exploded there. Always loved the big batter's eye at home, so I always felt like that played into seeing the baseball back in your own stadium.
For sure.
No, great start to 2026 baseball in Clifton.
Absolutely. Let's talk about those two guys that not that we were putting any pressure on them, but we kind of labeled Quentin Coates and Derek Pitts to be kind of the X factor of this lineup specifically. Obviously, you lose Carrington Cross, Landon Viderick, and these guys really didn't play a whole lot of the first half of last year.
Yeah.
Both slowly came onto the scene as the season progressed and were able to shine in some big moments late, especially in the regional. And we just talked about how sometimes it's very easy it's not easy. I mean, I never did it, but to go in as a freshman and have some success early and kind of ride that high when your name's not circled in the lineup of having that success. And it's much, much harder to come back that following year when your name's being circled in the lineup and have the maturity to adjust to that and have success. And these guys are having more success right now than they even did last year. Yep. I know it's early and we haven't gotten into conference play yet, but these guys are tearing the cover off the ball. Derek Pitts is hitting .447 right now with 4 doubles. And Quentin Coates is hitting .333 with 2 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs. So both of these guys are absolutely mashing. And then another guy that we kind of needed to be the guy this year, Jack Natilli. He's holding his own right now. He's getting pitched very tough. Not a lot of guys wanting to attack him early, and he's hitting .364 with a double and a homer. He has another thing to point out with him, 7 walks and 5 strikeouts. So we know he's a guy who's going to try to drive the ball, hit for some power. We also know that guys might be a little more careful for him or with him. So I've been really impressed with him to be able to take those walks when they're given to him. And I don't know, just retain his approach at the plate and not get too antsy when it feels like guys may be pitching around him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say the same thing. It was kudos to him for being patient at the plate, not falling into chasing pitches, and just taking walks when they're given to him. And I mean, he's not necessarily, like we mentioned, or I mentioned a few minutes ago, he's had a couple deep fly outs, double off the wall. He did sneak a homer out of there in Birmingham. But I think if he keeps this approach where, yes, he's going to be locked in on the strike zone, doesn't start chasing pitches, he's going to get pitches to hit. And I feel sorry for teams when he connects with those.
Yeah.
And then, Quentin Coates, Derek Pitts. I mean, these guys are playing out of, like, seeing the beach balls right now. And that's also just these guys, you can tell how much work they put in throughout the fall and the off season to be ready to go when the season started. And it's becoming very apparent that they are very ready to go. And I hope they keep it up.
To say, I don't have I know we mentioned the strikeouts last week. I didn't grab those numbers to see if there's any huge difference there. But first things first is I'm not concerned about our offense. That's for sure. I think we're going to be just fine. We have some other dudes that I feel like could be performing a little bit better than they are right now. And I think that'll come around. I think especially being back at home has something to do with that. Sometimes for guys just being on the road for the first 2 weeks, I know we talked about it. I know we mentioned playing well that first week. I'm pretty sure I remember both of us playing not particularly well those first weeks on the road before we came home. So for some of these guys, maybe it's just what it takes is getting home and just getting back on your home field and in your batter's box with that big batter's eye. And maybe that's just what it takes for these dudes to get going a little bit, but no concern in the offense. I am ready to talk about the Diet Mountain Dew Classic and the Austin Peay Governors if you are, Cole.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
There's a lot of noise around this Mountain Dew Classic this weekend, so
a lot of noise, and probably most of it from us. But some people are starting to take notice. Some people are starting to buy in and really like this idea of the Diet Mountain Dew Classic. We were able to talk to, or at least get a few thoughts from both head coaches regarding the Diet Mountain Dew Classic, since they were the one that kind of birthed this whole idea. We asked Coach Bischel a few weeks ago before the season got rolling. Here were his remarks and thoughts on hosting the Austin Peay Governors. So how pumped are you to get the boys back in Cincinnati to host the Governors for the Mountain Dew Classic?
Yeah, you'd like to think Mountain Dew would that Thursday be coming to town to have a joint press conference, kind of like done for the Super Bowl and the national championship. They'd be smart if they did. You have to supply the room with a lot of drinks, but Coach Fanning has a reputation that he's looking to uphold, and his is maybe a little longer lasting than mine, but mine got on the radar last year. I think I've sneaky been out drinking him for years. He just brought the 2-liter bottle to home plate, and that to me was a little bit of an underhanded move. I think a little bit of a sales pitch where I just stick to my process, and if people see it, they see it. But it's a good matchup. I don't know what the Vegas line will be, but I would put me at about minus 150 right now if I had to guess.
As far as winning the series or
no, I don't care about the baseball.
Yeah.
Just who drinks the most Diet Mountain Dew.
That'll be maybe a good job for a manager or someone to have a kind of like a running tally on you.
Yeah, you need a spotter in the stands. Again, I just question. I think a little bit of that 2-liter goes down, the drain when he's in the bathroom. I don't know. I think there's some performance enhancement going on there.
Yeah, definitely could be. That's for sure. There you have it from Coach Bischel. Maybe a couple subtle chirps in there at Coach Fanning, trying to get publicly that he has the leg up on how much Mountain Dew he drinks. Yeah, I will say that I don't know if we have a confirmed spotter that's going to be counting, but for any, I will be supplying. I have worked it out with our director of baseball ops. I will be supplying both dugouts with a 24 rack of Diet Mountain Dew for tomorrow. So both head coaches will be fully supplied and ready to go. Thanks to the Head First podcast.
Yeah, I just had one. I remember. I think this was like Coach B's proudest moment of me. When my only season with him, he lost his open Mountain Dew at BYU. And I immediately just started searching. Someone had put their helmet over it on accident or like tucked back in a helmet cubby. I found it and he gave me like the biggest hug ever. I just like, it was like I just did the most amazing thing in the whole world. And he was like, it was amazing. I loved it. It was the best day ever.
Yeah, the Bearcat fans know in Coach Bischel's short time here how much he loves Diet Mountain Dew. For those of you that don't know, Coach Fanning loves it as well, has been on it for a few years too. That picture that they showed of him drinking the 2-liter at home plate was actually shortly after being ejected from the game, which makes it 10 times better. He's being ejected from the game, having a conversation with the umpire at home plate while he's just slugging a 2-liter of Diet Dew. So
is that at the Dude?
No. So then it was
there was another one of him going around like at the Dude, right?
Yeah. So it was either the season after or later on in that season, they went to the Dude, and Coach Cheeseborough was one of his buddies and got him a 2-liter. Little did they know that Austin Peay was going to sweep them in the midweek and win Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't know if there was any footage of him with the Mountain Dew that weekend, but there was footage of him dancing in the locker room after the win. That's for sure.
Love it.
Speaking of Coach Fanning, I was also able to reach out to him. He is an awesome guy. I was able to have him on the podcast a year or so ago. So if you want to find out more about him and what he's all about, make sure to go check out that episode. Great personality, one of my favorite coaches in the game. We were able to get him to send in a little video here as him and the Govs arrived in Clifton.
I mean, fire me up, JP. Welcome to Cincinnati for the unofficial Diet Dew Classic. I mean, are you kidding me? What an awesome opportunity to be on the podcast. The boys are fired up. The boys are fired up. We look forward to a great weekend. Let's go, Peay. Bang.
Awesome, dude. Him and the boys are fired up, as you could see and you could hear. I love that they're kind of buying into the Diet Mountain Dew Classic and having a little bit of fun with it. I do want to say it's funny because we're hearing from both head coaches. They're buying into this thing and talking about, like, Bischel made the comment, I don't care about the baseball, just the Mountain Dew. And I actually feel like this series has the potential to get a little bit chippy this weekend.
I'm excited to get down there. Watch.
Yeah. Coach Fanning and his squad, they have a bunch of just gritty dudes who a lot of them are transfers from either a JUCO or a bigger school that told them that they weren't good enough to play there. And that's just kind of the mentality that they buy into. They don't take any shit from anybody. They're not out of line. They don't try to pick fights, but they have gotten in a couple scuffles and they don't take any shit. And just with some of the dugout antics and what the Bearcats, what we like to do, I know that the coaches have said, and we've all said, like, a lot of the times we're making fun of our own guys or just simply having fun and not trying to chirp the other team. But for some people, it doesn't always come across that way. And whether you're making fun of them or not, they don't like it. And I guess I'm very so-so about it. I I can't blame for someone who says they don't like it. But I just have a feeling with the way that these two teams are that this one could get pretty high intensity by Sunday.
Yeah, that's why one reason I'm just excited to watch it. First of all, it would be my first game getting out to the ballpark, watching the boys compete. But I couldn't agree more. I feel like it's two pretty gritty teams. Both teams know what they want to do and are going to try to execute it best of their ability. And I think when they do, you'll see a lot of energy is what I'll say. There'll be a lot of energy in the ballpark. So
yeah,
if you're in Clifton and got nothing to do, this would be a great opportunity to go watch some very exciting college baseball.
and I think that's the main thing that it comes down to is you have two coaches, maybe new age coaches, as some would call them, who really emphasize and kind of put a focus on letting their guys play with emotion and play free. And you can see why they've both had really a lot of success in doing so. Both teams absolutely love playing for their coach, would run through a brick wall for them, and play hard with a lot of emotion. So I think it's going to be an awesome series and a great opportunity to watch these two teams clash up this weekend. Austin Peay is coming into this series at 4-4. Last week or week one, they split 2-2 with UNLV, who we watched last year. Pretty solid program. Definitely not an easy road trip. They won 2 out of 3 against Eastern Michigan and then lost to Mississippi State 2 days ago in the midweek. So they're coming in at 4-4. Right now, they are only hitting 233 as a team average, which I'll just say that is not an accurate representation of how well this team can hit. Yeah. They've hit really well for the past few years, and I don't imagine that that's going to change. On the flip side of that, they have struggled on the pitching side of things. Their team ERA right now is a 6.94. Not fantastic. I do anticipate, especially maybe being able to take advantage of some free base opportunities this weekend as we get deeper into that staff. But again, this team, it will be able to hit, and they will be able to hit as we get deeper into our staff as well. A couple guys to point out on their team right now, the top two numbers wise, Andres Matias is hitting 385 and Paris Pridgeon is hitting 375. And then another guy who we mentioned on our preview episode, Ray Velasquez, who I picked to be my mid-major player of the year. He's only hitting 219 right now, but with a double and a homer, again, small sample size, that dude rakes. And then Trevor Conley, our guy, our former teammate of me, Cole, and Corey. He's a Cincinnati kid, Midland guy. He fits into Coach Fanning's mold perfectly, if you know Trevor, and he's hitting 270, having a solid start to his 5th year campaign, and he will be the backstop for the Governors. So another Cincinnati kid to watch out for if you make it to the park this weekend. Their starting pitchers, I would not be surprised if this gets shuffled around a little bit. Could stay the same, but who they've been rolling with is Cody Arrington on Friday. He's got a 9.82 ERA through 3.2 innings pitched. He's really struggled in his first 2 starts. Caleb Appleby is the Saturday starter, who I believe to maybe be the best talent-wise. He's an LSU transfer. He's got a 4.32 ERA through 8.1 innings pitched with 12 strikeouts. And then they've been getting great Sunday starts out of Cade Shatwell. He's got a 0 ERA through 10.2 innings pitched and 13 strikeouts. So I wouldn't be shocked if that might get shuffled up a little bit. But obviously, as you could see, some pretty solid starts out of Appleby and Shatwell, not so much out of the Friday Arrington. So if that slates how they have been running it the past 2 weeks, I think we'll have a big advantage tomorrow night with Nate Taylor back at home, hopefully kind of getting his feet under him a little bit.
Yeah, I know Nate is kind of the same way as me and you, John. Like first game in Cincy, like he's hyped up.
Yeah.
He loves the city, so I agree with you there. I haven't got to watch much of Austin Peay this year. Anytime I do get some opportunities to turn on some college baseball, it's usually the Bearcats. So I'm right there with you, especially, yes, this Austin Peay team is going to hit the baseball. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of balls go out of the park this weekend. So both teams have had their struggles on the mound and some success as well. So I think it's going to come down to who can throw it better, because I know both teams are going to hit. So,
yeah, I agree. I think this is my prediction is kind of a slugfest all weekend, and I think any sort of edge on the pitching side of things, which I do think that we have, I think we need to take advantage of that and minimize runs, minimize scoring, and we'll be just fine. I do want to say to not sleep on this team at all, though. They had 40 or so wins last week or last year. The last 2 years, really, they've been just held out of the tournament, losing in the conference tournament both years. And like I said, they're not going to take any crap from anybody, and they're not going to be scared to come up to Cincinnati. They're going to be ready to go, and I think this is going to be an awesome series. I anticipate the Bearcats having an edge. I do think we take the series. I think it would be, there's nothing better than sweeping a week at home. So, I'll shoot for that. Let's go for it. But I think this is for people who may not know a ton about college baseball, don't know a ton about Austin Peay, just looking at school names. This series is going to be a little bit tighter than people might anticipate.
Yeah, Coach Fanning's known for scheduling some of the toughest non-conference schedules in the country for Austin Peay. I know they play like a ton of big schools, and even in their midweeks, anything for his team to get more on the radar there and boost their RPI or whatever he wants to do. I just know that this team has played some of the better teams in the country over the last few years. They beat a lot of the better teams in the country over the past few years. So it's definitely not a team to overlook by any means. And yeah, I'm kind of there with you. I just think there's going to be a lot of balls hit very hard this weekend. A lot of runs scored. So any advantage on the mound will greatly favor that team.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that will about wrap us up. Again, super pumped for the Diet Mtn Dew Classic hosted in Cincinnati this weekend. I believe Corey said he might be at all 3 games, or at least Friday and Saturday. Cole will be there Saturday. So whether you head over to Mio's pregame or catch those guys at the ballpark, make sure to say hello. All of us love to hear from the listeners and the fans. So make sure to say hello. Before you sign off, make sure to go subscribe to the channel, whether you're listening on Apple Music, Spotify, or YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and X and TikTok and all of it. Another thing to keep an eye out for, I will be posting a tweet and an Instagram story as a new thing every day that we're going to record our Bischel Ball episodes. I am going to give you guys the opportunity to submit some questions. You can either reply to the tweet or send it in a DM if you would like for it to be kept anonymous. Kind of maybe looking forward to answering some tough questions that people don't want to ask or answer. So I'm totally comfortable with you guys wanting to be kept anonymous there with those. But keep an eye out. Would love to start getting some good conversation in here and answer some of the questions that you guys want to hear. But that will wrap us up this week. Cole, thanks for joining me. All of you guys, thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next week. Go Bearcats.